Welcome back to Adobe Illustrator CC. In this tutorial, we're going to discover how to create a unique shape such as this. So how would you make such a unique shape? I mean, you could go around with the pen tool and click, and go all the way around and create crazy, interesting shapes. But that would take an enormous amount of time to make something so complicated. A better way to create shapes like this is to use the Shape Builder tool, which has the hotkey of Shift M, or the Pathfinder command under Window, Pathfinder. So the Pathfinder command, basically what it is it basically allows you to combine shapes, subtract shapes, and so forth uh, through these little widgets here. They give you options. I'm going to show you how that works, and then I'll show you the Shape Builder tool. So I'm going to start off with just a rectangle, draw out one of these, maybe change the color, and then I'll start with something simple, an ellipse, and change its color so you can see what happens. The first, select both shapes with the black arrow tool, or you could choose the white arrow tool to select both shapes. Either way works, and basically each of these modes basically determine what's going to happen. So if I click on the first one here, what will happen is these two shapes will merge. So I'm going to hit Control Z or Command Z on the Mac to undo and see what happens to the next one. So the next one, what happens is the top shape cuts away from the bottom shape. Again, I'm hitting Control Z or Command Z on the Mac to undo. The next one, basically what happens is the area where they overlap is where remains, where everything else disappears. And each time I'm just undoing. I'm just showing you what's happening here. So this one, where they overlap, they cut away. The bottom ones are definitely more and more less interesting in a way, because they have to do mainly with the paths, not necessarily with the shapes. So like the trim here, it's trimming the actual path between these two shapes. So I'm not going to go through these because they're path modes versus the shape modes. So let's see how we can deal with this instead with Pathfinder, but with the Shape Builder tool. So let's add a few more shapes here and show you how this can work. I'm going to draw out a polygon, and I'm holding spacebar while I'm drawing out to reposition. Maybe I'll hold Shift key so I can maintain that sort of straight on position there, and basically just kind of clicking and applying it wherever I want. I'm changing color. Let's see, I'll go to the star tool, draw a star, and I think I'll down arrow until I get a triangle. Might be kind of interesting to have some of the basic shapes. And again, holding spacebar as I'm drawing out the shape to release, and I have something like this. So I'm going to select all these shapes, because the Shape Builder tool works the same way as Pathfinder. First step is to select them all the shapes that is that you want to manipulate. And the Shape Builder is right here. It has the hotkey of Shift M. If you hold the mouse down, you have other tools underneath, the Live Paint and Live Paint Selection tool. We'll go over these in another tutorial, but right now we're going to play around with the Shape Builder tool. So the way it works, as you hover over a shape, the area will kind of highlight with a grid kind of pattern, and it will have a plus symbol next to it, meaning that you're going to combine the shapes together. If you hold Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac, you'll see a minus, which means you'll subtract. So let me show you first how the subtract would work. So say I want to subtract this triangle from this ellipse here. I can click here, and all of a sudden that's gone. Now if I hold Alt or Option on this part, that is gone. So I'm left with like a opening, kind of like a Pac-Man mouth here. As I drag across these shapes, basically it's going to unify that whole bunch of shapes there. Again, if I hold Alt or Option, it'll disappear. And if I want to unify these, I can kind of drag across and drag across here. But what will happen is, most likely, is that this little piece, because it's not quite connected, it's not going to connect all the way. So I can select them all again, and again hit that hotkey of Shift M to give me the plus. I can drag across and basically create this unique shape. So you can have lots of fun creating unique shapes. Once you've created one, you can still further refine it, so you don't have to just stick with it. I can add another shape in between here. Again, select everything, hit that hotkey of Shift M. Maybe I will cut away this part in here so I get this kind of thing. And the great thing is, after you've done all that work, you can then use the white arrow tools to further manipulate each of these shapes. Perhaps you want to round off corners and create other unique properties. So you can have lots of fun really until your heart's content to create these interesting shapes. So enjoy discovering the Pathfinder or the Shape Builder tool in Adobe Illustrator CC. See you next time. Cheers.